Well, hello guys, welcome back and blessed be. There is going to be a little talk here. Instead of just waving some wax melts in your face, which wouldn't be very exciting, I decided to make a video for you on this. And there will be a lesson in this. I decided that instead of just putting a lot of junk back onto the channel, which we don't need, if I can't like think of a little lesson to go along with it, um, to not do a video on it. But there was a little lesson on it. And first off, this little fella looks a lot more charming in person. This one looks like he swallowed a potato. But this comes from a company called, I believe it's Scently. Yeah, Scently. Scent and an Ly. And I saw them when I was up at the church bazaar, and I hadn't wanted to order from the lady. It had a giant calavera skull. And had wanted to order from her because I thought, oh, don't do this because you'll get roped into ordering these wax melts and you'll never be done and you don't blah 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 and you don't want this in your life. And I thought, really, where am I going to put put the skull and everything? Well, I went over to her booth today and saw this little fox there, and I'm like, oh my god, a fox! You have a fox! And my voice gets really high and screechy like that when I see a fox. It's even worse in real life. I'm trying to keep calm because I'm mic'd up. It's, you know. And she's like, yeah, she's like, that's my little buddy. He goes everywhere with me. And I looked at her like, well, he wasn't here last time. And she says, well, he wasn't here with me last time because she had him out for something at home, I guess, and like daughter or someone like was like, no, you're leaving him home this time. So apparently the family fights over like who gets to keep him. And the thing was, I come home, I looked at him. Let me get the story in order, and I catch shut up and get the story in order. Okay, I looked at him in the booth. He looked really cute, and I said, well, I'm gonna walk around, look around. She's like, yeah. And she says, well, here's a brochure, and if you decide you want to order him, just give me a call. And I said, okay. And I go and I look around, and instead of having the real up energy like the church bazaar had, where they were, maybe that was the difference. The church bazaar, they were doing something for someone else. This, I don't know if they were doing something for someone else, but this was like I imagine like a gulag and a salt mine all put together at once. These people were like, they didn't want to be there. They were suffering. The energy in the room was really down. Almost the same exact kind of products, different sellers though. And just everyone's energy was real down. It was like real, ugh. You walked in the room and you didn't want to buy anything because all the energy in the room was just really down. And it was in a senior center, where I've been in the senior center when the seniors are there, and the energies usually roll up with the seniors there. So it was not the room itself. It was just blech for whatever reason. Now I come back and I look at this little tiny fox, and he's really cute, and I have to have him. I'm like, yeah, Foxy! And then I'm like talking to her and telling her all this stuff she don't need to know about how he's going to be replacing a wax melter I have that's operated by candle. And believe me, guys, there's a reason you're getting to hear the Iliad and the Odyssey together, believe me. And she's just looking at me like I'm slightly stupid because my ingenious idea, and I was very young at the time, to fix this this candle wax melter was to throw more wax chips in, because the more wax chips would loosen the old wax chips, right? And I just ruined it. And I've had that thing for 15, 20 years, and I've bought wax chips from time to time thinking I would get the wax out of it, and I never have. And like the base of it was cracked and everything, and I could not use it. And I'll take a sip of coffee here. Sorry about that. Oh dear. Falling apart in this recording. This is before, and I didn't like how it came out, and I threw it out. I shouldn't have thrown it out. But say Liffy. Anyhow. I order it, and she says, well, you know, if you're going to order it, and she saw me picking up wax tarts, because I'm like, well, the wax tarts I have got to be, like, older than her children. They've got to be 15, 20 years old. They can't smell good anymore. I might as well pick up something. If I even have the wax tarts anymore, I could have thrown them out. And so I'm picking these up, and she says, well, if you're going to get some, get 3, and, you know, there's a deal going on. And so I got 3. And I fell in love with this little guy, and bear with me. And you can lift off his head, and you melt the wax inside. And he's one of those, what I like about this company, and I don't sell these, by the way, is that if you would knock this over, if I'd knock this over for my tremors, and you guys know I do have the tremors, especially people on the main channel notice it, because you tend to use my hands a lot more on camera. I'm not going to hurt myself. It's body temperature wax. Now, their wax, to be specific, and their warmers are designed to do that. If you knock over a regular wax melt thing and regular wax, you'd burn yourself pretty badly. So that's why I like this. And this is one of the ones that has a heating element inside. It doesn't have like just a bulb. So it's nice. And she's going to bring me one more scent with it. And yeah, I paid her for the scent. I actually went back up and I ordered it because I was like, well, I'd like some scents. And I'm to the age now where I don't care what people think. I ordered more masculine scents because those are the scents I feel soothing and calming, and they make me relax. I don't always like really bright, high floral scents because sometimes they make me sneeze, or they just drive me crazy, or they give me a migraine. I like the masculine scents, and I like looked up this one scent on YouTube, and all the women were going crazy over it. I'm like, well, I'm getting that. So I had asked Loki, I'm like, should I get this box or shouldn't I? And Loki, he don't care. He's like, meh. He didn't care if I got it. He didn't care if I didn't get it. I mean, it's, you know, it's a wax warmer, and my rational side of my brain is saying, you don't need a wax warmer. What do you need a wax warmer for? You're a fool. You're never going to use this. This costs too much money. Blah, blah, blah. Candle, blah, blah, blah. You don't need it. And the emotional side is, it's a fox. Who cares if you ever use it? It's a fox. Loki's a fox. It's a fox. No, Loki's specifically a fox, but you guys know what I mean. And I like foxes anyhow. So I ended up getting it, but then, you know, after I got it and I came home and my order's done, I'm looking through the catalog and I'm seeing all these really beautiful, like, urns and everything. Now, he was a modest price. He wasn't free, but he was a modest price. And there was like some really high-end diffusers and everything. And diffusers are different things. You use them with oil in this catalog. And there's like other things in that. And they're like really sophisticated looking. I said to Loki, I said, Loki, why didn't you like nudge me towards something more sophisticated? Because, you know, I wasn't mad. I said, because this looks kind of childish and juvenile in comparison to some of these other things. They look really beautiful. I mean, you could like get one and not even have it work, and you would be happy to have it in your home because they're beautiful. Well, to me, they're beautiful. You might look at them and go, ugh, that's ugly. And Loki's just giving me side eye. I mean, he's sitting there in one of his really beautiful forms, and he's like looking at me like, did you say something about a fox? I'm like, I'll back it up on that one. And I'm like, okay, is he just annoyed that I said something about a fox, or is he annoyed that I said something and he thinks I'm like yelling at him because I'm not? Or, you know, what is it? And I had been trying to, I know I told you guys I brought the plushies back in, but I've been trying to like sneak them back out so I could have this more elegant looking design and like not have the plush foxes in here. And every time I would sneak them out, the room would feel out of balance. And I said, well, it's like the plush foxes having them in the room to back up my argument, because I hadn't dug myself a deep enough hole already. I said, it's like having the plush foxes in the room. They really don't fit because they're not elegant and they don't fit the decor. And he's giving me that look. And he's wearing one of his very pleasing, very beautiful forms, and he's giving me that look. That look of, I'm going to skin you and wear your skin if you keep this up look, because I was just digging the hole deeper and deeper and deeper. And I, instead of shutting up or saying, okay, I said, but Loki, plush foxes, my design, Loki. And he's just looking at me until I finally shut up, and I'm like, okay. And I think the point was, one, he likes the foxes. Two, it's supposed to be his room. Somehow we went from him having one room down in the entire house, which is a long story. And I think, because of his nature, because he'll take so many complex kinds of gifts, I keep trying to move things out, and he keeps moving them back in. And he's like, if this is going to be mine, and this is my area, you're going to be drawn to, and you're going to get the things I like. You're not going to get the things you like and think are pretty, because that might not necessarily be what I want. And he just looks at me, and his eyes go to mere slits, and he says, that thing you like looks like a funeral urn. That was his final word on the subject. I'm like, okay. He said, why don't we just build a mausoleum? Will that make you happy? Okay. Maybe I should just start dressing in all black all the time, and we can have hearses pull up to the house. Okay, I'm sorry. Because when he decides to be sarcastic, he will really be sarcastic. So I got the memo. I got the memo that he likes his foxes, and if he thinks the design should be a little more relaxed, the design should be. And that is a good lesson to take away from it, that sometimes our plans, sometimes what we think as humans, or we've been taught about design, or we think we know about something, it doesn't always work for Loki. And because he does know best. And if you will work with him, what he wants in the end will work out the best for both of you. Now, that doesn't mean, like, I'm not, like, saying, like, go out and buy 5 billion plush foxes or something. I mean, it's like something he's doing with me. He might not even use foxes with you. He might use another animal or no animals at all. It was just, like, his thing. I was, like, trying to do one thing and have this one vision with the room, and he's like, no, this is what I want here, and this is what I want there. And he can be very exacting, especially when it comes to design. I think you all remember the horror stories I was telling you while we were doing the design. And it's something for me to wrap my head around. I'm very analytical, I'm very logical, if a magazine or design concept tells me X, Y, and Z doesn't go, I will just go through with a box and I'll pick up X, Y, and Z, and out they go. And Loki's like, no, I know this is driving you nuts. I know this is driving you crazy, but I want this here and this here and this there, and you're going to deal with it. I don't care if you have to switch to drinking water the rest of your life to calm down. You're going to deal with it. And he's right. Like, I can't accept it all at once, but I'm like accepting like one little plush fox at once, and I'm cool with that one. And then I like look at the other one, I'm like, ugh, I wish it wasn't there, but okay. It's, you guys know I love the plush foxies and I loved having them in the room, but then I was like, I have to take the design the whole way. So it's I think a point of the video, if there is a point, and the point Loki was trying to teach me, is that you have to be flexible. Sometimes we can get so locked in on something that we don't see the possibilities. Now, it doesn't make sense to me why he wanted to bring them back in. And, I would keep taking them back out because I thought, well, that'll make them happy, or take them back out. And somehow they kept coming back into the room, and he's finally like, no, they're staying. These are mine. They are staying. You work them into the design where you think they look good, but they're staying. I'm like, okay. So I think that's it. Sometimes you have to be flexible, and sometimes you have this material in your hand, or, you obviously don't have plush foxes on your hands, but maybe you have something in your life right now that you're looking at it, and maybe you feel Loki's given it to you, and you're like, what am I going to do with this? This is not fitting my life plan. This is not fitting how I want things to go. And it's not necessarily something bad. It might even be something you like, or it was something you used to like. But something that, like, for right now, for whatever reason, you try to set it to the side and not have it out front and center. And Loki's like, no, you have to have this here. So, I think that's the lesson he used, this little red fox, to teach me that, sometimes that's going to happen. Sometimes these things, whether they're talents or their little red ceramic foxes or their little plush foxes or their whatever, or their like personal habits or whatever, sometimes we might have cleared them to the side, not because they're bad. They may be very good, but we may clear them to the side because we think, well, this will look better. And look, he's like, no, I'm reaching over and I'm putting this back where it was, and this is where I want this. So if you feel like you're trying to get rid of something, and every time you're like taking it out of your life, and I don't mean something destructive, by all means get rid of destructive things, but I mean something like that's part of you that you actually enjoy, but you like keep putting it to the side for whatever reason, and Loki somehow keeps dragging it back, or maybe you don't even think it's Loki, but it always seems to keep being dragged back into your life. Well, maybe there's a reason why. Maybe that's eccentric part of you. Eccentric. I'm having trouble with the English language today. Sorry, guys. I'm like back to like 3 hours sleep. And eccentric is what I think I meant to say. And maybe that is just, part of you Loki wants you to be comfortable with, and to, you don't have to flaunt it to the world, but you certainly don't have to lock it up in a box either, and be comfortable having it around you, because that's perhaps when you're at your best. And that may be the whole point of this exercise with the plush foxes and little ceramic foxes and everything else. Or he might be Loki and he might just want a ceramic fox and plush foxes. I can never tell. But if you like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to get away from doing unboxings unless you guys really, really, really want to see them. She told me 10 business days, so about 2 weeks for this to come in, unless there's a holdup. So sometime in June he'll come in, and a little wax figure will come with him. Excuse me, they are really cute in person, and oh my gosh, I've gone on just about forever. I do apologize, guys, but if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.